Now let's get into this mess. Let's talk about the Braxtons, because the Braxtons was out here being messy. I don't know if y'all watched the last 3 episodes, but I gotta be all ratchet with it because I gotta play the audio on the phone because I don't know. We can get a copyright lash. They can't say nothing if I play the audio, but I gotta find it. Hold on. So yeah, so the Braxtons came up. They've been teasing. We didn't get the whole thing yet. Maybe we'll get it next week. But they've really been teasing this whole blow up between the Braxtons. As Tamar accusing them of sending out a cease and desist. That's what she said. So using her term, they sent her because she had her niece Ashley on her podcast to talk about the inappropriate text she received from, they didn't say it, but now it came around to actually admitting, even though we all knew, because we all knew the big pervert in the family was Gabe. That was Trina's ex-husband, because of some of the stuff that they said in them storylines when they had him on the show. Why can't I find my history or, the videos that I was watching? It's like, because I'm trying to concentrate and I can't concentrate. Okay, I got it. So, um, yeah, there was a whole situation that went down with that, and so apparently they got a cease and desist. Now, what they saying was the cease and desist actually came from. It might have came from Ashley father Michael, who's not on the show, because they talking about they don't know what Tamar talking about. There was a whole situation of like the family attorney hit them up. Toni said that I ain't used that man in a month of Sundays. Tawanda said she don't use him. Then all these other allegations came out about Tawanda allegedly stealing money, using Tamar credit cards. There was even a story that came out that allegedly Tawanda was out here using Evelyn Braxton stole her social security card. I'm like, what the hell? I'm like, social security child. I'm like, wait, now you sitting here talking about that she using the social security card. Now I'm sitting there like, okay, now is this some, I mean, not social security card, like taking her SSI check or whatever. Okay, that's what it was. And so now I'm sitting there like, wait, so now you Latasha Scott allegedly, like y'all out here stealing people money from your siblings and passing it off as your own. So yeah, that was the tea regarding that. I was trying to see if I could find did I have the story? I could have sworn I did. Oh wait, I do. And do. So yeah, we're gonna use this thing from the Braxtons. So let me pull it up, courtesy of the neighborhood talk. And then we're gonna play this audio for y'all to hear. And then we will come back and talk. Please hold. Hold on, let me pull this down. But it's a whole production. Saloon after I got me a ticket. Who told you that? They didn't want me to come. Who said that? Who said we didn't want? Let me rewind it back. I just invited to Saloon after I got me a ticket. Who told you that? I didn't want me to come. Who said that? Who said we didn't want you to come? I'll wait. Because what we were told is that you didn't want to film with us. Well, you already know why I want to film with y'all, because y'all sent me a cease and desist and try to destroy my business. Who's That's y'all? Not true. Wait a minute. Hold on. Who's y'all? Wait a minute. Wait. Come on. Let's go. I want to go there, y'all. Yes, we do. Yes, I do. Who's y'all? Who's y'all? Cease and desist. The what? What is that? You mean a cease and desist? Am I the only one that thinks a cease and desist is a big deal? That is the catalyst of why me and my sisters have not been able to get along. For my sisters to not respond to me about a cease and desist that came from you all to shut me down is horrible. So y'all don't even want to talk about it? That's all I want to discuss. So all this other, I feel is not and void. But who's y'all? Who's y'all? Y'all family attorney sent me. No, hold on. I hadn't had him as my attorney for years. Oh, so you didn't know about it? So I didn't know about it. So thank you. I knew nothing about it. Toni, that's your best friend. Wait a minute. Hold the heck up. Wait a minute. No. We're not going to try to convict Toni for a crime she didn't commit. I knew nothing. Nothing. Because somebody gave him my address, which is a complete breach. Why y'all gave this my address? Y'all tried to shut down my entire business. Don't say y'all. That's not fair to say y'all. I am also a singer. But that's not fair to say y'all. Cease and desist is shutting down my business. But what I'm saying, the problem is nobody wanted to come to my defense. So you're going to sit there and say, Toni Braxton? Toni Braxton. I got Toni Braxton. No. Toni Braxton ain't never had your back. I got Toni Braxton. I want it on record. I want it on national television. You want to say I don't have your back? You did it. Hell, Lord Jesus, give me the strength. Give me the strength, Lord Jesus. Get the strength. Get you some muscles. With heavyweight, don't put me, Tamar. Don't put Toni Braxton.
Child, let me find out. She said, "Get you some muscles." You know what, Tamar, you messy, but it was funny as hell. But you know what? It's just sad that it's gotten to this point that you know. And then Tamar did bring up the fact that they are the currently reigning only black family that's on TV, and that's great and all. She said in a century, but child, it's a decade. We wouldn't even be here if you were on for a century. Y'all be old as hell and you'd be dead. So, yeah. So congratulations that you are one of the biggest. You're the only black family reality competition show in a decade that's on TV. But at what cost? Because y'all up in here arguing, fighting with each other. There's all these allegations and stuff coming out. You and Tawanda is not as you're not close. You would think that because Tracy passed away, like I was hoping like these sisters would kind of find a way to get together in this whole situation, but it's like no, now it feels like that y'all are you're further apart than you are together. And I get it. You know what? The one thing I do like about this show is that it does show that regardless of where you are in the tax bracket or how wealthy you are, whatever, or the perception, because the only ones that I feel like probably have the real coins coming in would be Toni and Tamar, because Toni is out here doing her thing with her music still, although she had to turn up for the show because I guess she's been a little too laid back and not wanting to interact too much with the drama. But they like, okay, sis, you got to step your woozy up in some sort of ways to make the show interesting. Because outside the drama, I don't think people care that much. And shout out to Toni because Toni's about to go on tour with New Edition and Boys to Men. So that's about to make her some good coin. But I just do worry about her health because, she got the heart issues and she has the lupus. Yes, lupus, right? So I always get lupus and Lyme disease because it's like too many stories we hear about artists with lupus or Lyme disease or both. So it's hard to keep track of who got what. But hopefully she's able to do the tour because a lot of times how strenuous tours can be and traveling and stuff, it does take its toll on your physical, especially when you got a lot of ailments and stuff. So hopefully she's able to do it. But and Tamar's doing what she do on the Chitlin circuit. But and Tawanda, she's trying to do things. Her whole storyline this season, she's getting engaged, and congratulations. I know she's married already, but it definitely gives like, okay, you acting a little too bougie, you acting a little too stink with the whole marriage situation. Yeah, congratulations, you're getting married. I'm giving you the Nancy Pelosi applause. It's like whoop-de freaking do. But also, we all started to see your nasty side, and you did literally say that you didn't want Tamar there. So stop trying to play things up with the camera. And I understand Tamar comes from a place of hurt. She could be a little extra with a lot of her stuff, but her feelings are valid. And I do feel like, Toni, you was being a little extra for no damn reason because Tamar did not necessarily say that you never had her back in any situation. She's saying with this particular situation, you didn't have my back. You wasn't listening. And you was ready to pop off. And then when Tawanda basically said, "Did I have the clip? Oh yeah, I do. I don't know if it played the whole. Hold on, let me see if it plays the whole because I don't think she said in that. Did she say in the situation? Because we heard the cease and desist situation, but we didn't hear if she said that. Basically, Tawanda said that Tamar had sexual relations with one of Toni exes. So yeah, she and Tamar denied the allegation. But it doesn't look good because also I didn't even know they had a versus this weekend. So Cash Money and then was up there because Birdman is married to Toni. I don't know how he bagged her, but okay. If you like it, I love it. But yeah, so Birdman ended up, he was there, whatever. Tamar was there dropping every other N-word, trying to be a hood chick. I'm like, sis, you are a PK trying to act like you from the hood. Like, stop it. And she's run up in there. like every other word, the N word coming out her damn mouth. And I'm looking at her like, girl, you are not about that life. Why are you trying to play up this shit for social media or whatever the case is? So she went and said, so people was getting mad at her because they were like, why are you wiping the sweat off of that man? And that is not even your man. And you talking about you've been celibate for as long as you've been. And of course, with all the allegations going around that you done hunched Tony X, which some people believe, because I was like, who could it be? Some people think it was Bryant Reed, who I believe did go out with Tony at one point back in the day. You know, he is award-winning 20-plus year American entertainment industry executive, and he signed quite a few celebrities, including Tamar and the Braxtons to Atlantic Records in the 90s and scored a #1 hit single on the Billboard Hot Dance Club Parade chart called The Boss, a song originally performed by Diana Ross. So yeah, so there was that happened back in the day. And look, Tamar has been through it when it comes to a lot of the men that she's been in a relationship with. Like she was married to Darrell Allamby, who she was married to from 2001 to 2003. Then she married Vincent Herbert, where she was married to him from 2008 to 2019. They have a son. Then she was with David Adefeso, the African, and they was having they mess. And then Jeremy J.R. Robinson, who was eating Tony. I mean, not Tony. Was it Tony? Not Tony Braxton, the other Tony. No, it was Tommy. Remember from Love and Hip Hop eating her butt in a hotel room. That was the tea that came out with that. And so Tamar has not always had the best track record when it's come to the men she's laid it low and spread it wide for. But um well, all I said, this is unfortunate that these girls are a mess. And you know what this reminded me of? Because when I was watching this, I'm like, y'all literally are the black version of the Kardashians. We know the Kardashians like to attach themselves to black men for that, that clout or whatever the case is. And we know they got they got mixed babies and all that other stuff. And we know how opportunistic the Kardashians could be, but they are literally the Kardashians with a talent. Because I don't know what them other girls do. Yeah, y'all are good at using y'all vaginas and stuff to create entrepreneurial situations. But with the Braxtons, they actually have a legitimate talent. They all can sing. The whole family can sing. So when y'all get together and y'all rely on your actual talents, that's always a good thing. And it's like, yeah, the Kardashian, and I use the comparison because wasn't there stories going around that Kim and Chloe and all of them, but they was all sleeping with they was all recycling men. And so they've all kind of just hunched each other's exes or whatever the case is, allegedly. Because wasn't there a story that came out that Kim allegedly got with Travis, not Scott, Barker. That's what I'm talking about, which she's kind of denied. But we know Travis Barker had a thing for Kim at one point. Then when it got with the least popular, the least interesting Kardashian, Courtney, and they supposed to be happy or whatever. But yeah, now they said friends close to the family told AP that the allegation first surfaced after a private conflict over finances, which then escalated when the show's producers reportedly asked the sisters about relationship troubles. One source says the network beat the man's name, but they feared because they feared legal risks, which of course people jumped on the comments and was trying to say, was it Birdman? Was it this one? Was it that one? I already told you they thought it was the other, What is he related to L.A. Reid? So they said industry insiders say the episode will likely be featured in the next installment of the family's reality series, where the sisters handle relationship fallout and eternal strife. While no lawsuit or legal claim has been filed, the public nature of denial indicates Tamar is taking the matter seriously. Tamar also emphasized her commitment to transparency and healing, saying, I'm in a place in my life where I want peace with my family and with myself. I refuse to accept lies as truth. The sisters have been in the public eye for decades, and the latest storm raises questions about how much private life will continue to play out in public. And my thing is this: is it even worth it to continue to do this if it's going to put a strain in y'all relationship? Shout out to Funky Donnie because he recently had Spinderella on his show, which was a good interview. And I remember that he asked her, would she ever do reality TV? And she was like, nope, never again. Because they Salt and Pepper and them, they did a reality show. And she said that's why we were in the place that we were in. Because being on a reality show, it strained their relationship. And she said recently, of course, because they have the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and everything coming up, she said that her and Salt are in a good place right now. And it was a lot of anxiety between, with her when she had to come to meet up with her at that point. And now they're in a good place. So if it comes down to it where these ladies could end up going on a tour together, because we're in a nostalgia era where we want to see a lot of the girls, the icons that we grew up with getting out there and performing, like MC Light and Moni Love and Queen Latifah. Most recently, we see LL Cool J getting back out there and performing and creating a whole show where he gets a lot of the iconic rappers to come on tour with him and stuff. Like, this is what we want. We want that sense of nostalgia. And people like Latifah and them, they still got it. They can still get up there and perform their hits. We're living for it. So I would love to see that whole situation go. And look, like I said before, we got Toni about to go on tour with New Edition and Boys to Bed. It'll be interesting to see how that works out. But they're about to all go out on tour together. So we in that whole nostalgia era. So I'm here for it, but it's sad that this is where they are. I mean, maybe they've been able to work it out until the cameras roll, but I just don't think it's worth it. I mean, yeah, it's great to see like a black family on TV, but y'all don't know Cosby's in regards of like the positive representation. It's just y'all popping off a mess. Y'all popping off a drama. And um it's good to see, like, yeah, we have family dynamics and there's families who aren't perfect and don't get along or whatever the case is. But we need more from we need to ask for more from our talents and our artists. But anyway, I say all this to say, what do you guys think of this story? Did y'all see the recent episode of the Braxtons? I actually caught up on the whole first three episodes yesterday, I think. I caught up on them. I had to rewatch the second episode because I fell asleep on it. So it was like, yeah, I watched the second and the third episode back to back. So I'm all caught up, and I'm looking to see what's going to happen with this, how this whole season goes. They also even showed T.S. Madison interviewing Tamar on her Outlaws podcast, and they even showed a clip of her going in on the whole Craig Stewart fag talk situation, and they already talked about how a lot of people didn't understand, like, when they filmed the Braxtons earlier this year. The city winery fact talk thing where Tamar and him got into it and talking about, you got your titties out. That was done months later. So people don't realize that how long it takes from when you film a show to when it actually airs. The same thing when we always talk about on the show, RuPaul's Drag Race, the upcoming season, which is going to air in January as it always does, was filmed over the summer. Same thing with All Stars. All Stars is always filmed right after, and then it's going to air next year. Same thing. What I heard T about Dragula, which I just remembered the new episode is on tonight. With Dragula, they filmed Titans and they filmed the upcoming season back to back. And from the word on the street, and it's because I know somebody who's on the show, I ain't gonna tell you who told me, but they was talking about the word on the street is the Boulets want to take off a year, so they want to film both back to back, so that way they can air that next season of Dragula next year. So when people think like y'all just filmed the whole season last week, no, it takes a while before a show actually ends up on a network. It's been shelved for a minute, so people I don't think really understand how like TV works. But when you know enough people that work that know how the sauce is made, they'll sit and tell you some things. And I've been on TV sets and stuff before, so I know how that stuff works. But anyway, so I would definitely want to hear from y'all regardless of all this drama surrounding Tamar and them. So definitely let me know. Oh damn, I should have read some of the comments, but um, especially when she talked about how she paid the down payment on Tawanda house. She was like, yeah, and I gave you a down payment on your house that you couldn't afford to have. So yeah, if you ever go up on the neighborhood talk website, oh, they went in on, in the comments. So and speaking of which, let me know what you think of this story in the comments down below.